Okay, hello, I'm back for us to keep going down this road, this healing journey. I turned the volume down from the first 6 videos because I have a loud speaking voice and I think everything on max. So I hope I did turn it down, kind of testing it out because I don't want you guys, like, then you can't really hear. I just turned it up just a little bit. And then when I watch the stream videos, the playbacks, I'll be able to tell if I'm still too loud. Okay. But I just hate to be so low. No matter how loud you turn up your uh, device, you can't hear me. That's a waste of time. I'm not that dressed up. Okay. So I've not had to go into a video number that's the same number as the previous video, but that one was a bit long, 42 minutes. And I got some kind of error message or something. So I want to keep talking anyways and it not work. So I thought I'd shut that off. And so when you see video number 7B, that's just me finishing video number 7. So let me do it. See if I would have been doing all that extra stuff, but I'm extra. One of the videos I already told you guys I'm extra. And I'm human. So it's okay to have a script, notes, and research and all that kind of stuff, but can I say something too? Okay, so I'm not really comparing, but I'm giving this example of trying to fix the whole problem of of slavery and divisiveness and racism and the whole 10 yards as if we're trying to climb Mount Everest or, survive a tsunami, hurricane, tornado, freaking cyclone, and a volcano. There is no. So somebody used to tell me, yard by yard. This is a quote because a dear person that's departed. So I don't know where she got it from, but it was a quote that she quoted to me all the time for years. Um, Yard by yard, it's hard, but inch by inch, it's a cinch. And when she first used to tell me that, because I was going through something, she was much older than I was. And I was like, what? Anyway. And I'm just going to be honest. She was an older Caucasian lady, just as fun and sweet as she can be. Of course, I'm not going to tell you her name. Y'all crazy. But at first, even though she was real nice anyway, so I didn't take offense to it. But I was just thinking to myself, goofball, thinking about this lady talking about yard by yard, it's hard, inch by inch. But as the years went, and she always would say it whenever I would bring up an issue or some adversity, I was going, yard by yard, it's hard, but inch by inch, it's a cinch. To where I started getting it. And then I started saying it to people. Y'all supposed to be saying it. Yard by yard is hard because a yard is obviously long, bigger than an inch, but inch by inch is a cinch, and cinch kind of means easy, but nothing's easy, so simpler, maybe a little quicker. Okay, anywho, so this is like instead of climbing Mount Everest and trying to survive a tsunami and a volcano and all that stuff at the same time, making some changes like we're renovating a house. And if you're watching 7B, because it's the rest of video 7, go back and watch video 7. So I have to repeat video 7. Then I'm going to have a video 7C. Now let's not start that. So I left off at, it's like renovating your house. And I gave 10 different ways that you could slowly renovate your house, not just boom through there. The average, that's not of great means, where you have, 30, 40, 50, 100, whatever thousand. You just tell somebody, renovate my home. No, average folk. where you might have to get one new window at a time, or that sort of thing. Throw out some old stuff, your old attitudes. Think of some new things. Make your patio, your boring patio, an oasis, so that you can have a place of serenity and peacefulness in the midst of all these storms and issues and nut bucket stuff running around. And I've suggested and to all of us, those I'm trying with YouTube, to use media forums, TED Talks, podcast. They let whoever lets you do this stuff. Facebook, they ain't put that on there. Whatever, Instagram, whatever you can do, whoever let you do it. To learn or put out ideas and themes and creative, more creative ways of protesting, and when you protest, but also learn your rights of protesting, so that not only you protest properly, but if there's some issue or police concerns, you will know what your rights are in the first place. Know your rights when it comes to protesting. And for broadcasters and directors and producers of music and movies and all of that, engage us, the audience, with some realistic stuff. The fantasy, that's wonderful, superheroes and stuff. And speaking of which, and I say that's superhero because he's a superhero to me, Chadwick Boseman, I think I'm saying his name right. Because with all due respect, I was like, oh, the guy that died, the Black Panther. Well, I mean, I hadn't looked at all the stuff and saw his name. So God bless his soul and his wife. And I just watched how they came together video today, and it was so sweet and romantic and beautiful and stuff. And God bless her and touch her heart. And it's people in her grief, and hopefully, prayerfully, she's got family and loved ones and friends and people that are just like so proud of her husband and the way they carried themselves and kept their business, to themselves, and not making a big to-do, and that she has that support that one needs during grieving, because there's so much grieving going on. We just got grieving every which direction but loose. So we went through different ways to, at a time, renovate your house. Go back to video 7 and watch that, because then see, I'm gonna be too long again. Then what? Okay, so moving on from those 10 ways, where trying to have some reasonable and doable solutions for real change projects, at a time, a few at a time. For evidence of slavery, racism, systemic racism, hot mess, right? Since slavery was bad in its foundational way, which built it up, slave industry, cotton, all that, bad. Well, that was still the foundation that built this country. So if you got a concrete slab, when you're building a house, you're going to put all your stuff on top of that stuff. So you got your house. Now, you got a house and it looks real nice and stuff, but it's got some issues. So it needs some renovating. We need some renovating. This country needs some renovating, some racial renovating, racism renovations. I don't know. Maybe that's a business idea for some. I don't know, whatever. But so I was just kind of trying to not make the comparison, but I think people can get how those step by step or inch by inch things that one would do if they were renovating their house, because they've got this nice house, maybe it's old, and they've kind of found, this house has issues. And instead of throwing a bunch of money on it at once, or money that you don't have, then you can, get at certain things and make that house more livable, more breathable, more enjoyable, more peaceful, more serene, a place for more activities instead of still, old school dining room that quarantine is an issue. anyway with having a bunch of people over dining. And I mean, unless you just entertain all the time, and that's kind of, I'm old school, so let me just go on for the record. That's kind of old school to have a formal dining room. I mean, you do what you do, and some of them are gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. And some people have houses big enough and the type of money. I'm not talking about them, far as that get rid of your formal dining when they got a house that looks like a castle and they dining room is gorgeous. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. So we need to renovate our country. Oh, did I say our country? Renovate this country. Oh, you think I'm not patriotic? Look at my red, white, and blue sundress. And if you hadn't watched all of the videos, I'm a retired veteran, so don't go there with me. And got injured and stuff. So don't do me. I'm very patriotic. I've been wanting to sing the national anthem for years, but it seemed like don't nobody know me. They always picking people they know and stuff. Any Hoosiers. So y'all get it, because see, here I go. So let me keep going. As for the real world, because remember that was just a depiction of as if the bad foundation but nice house that was built out of slavery, with slavery being the foundation like a concrete slab, this house got issues in it. Even if you can't see them, there's issues. So you start fixing those issues, here and come up with those ideas and get that plan going and start renovating your house, this nation's house. As for the real world outside of your home or your house, an actual house, 1, 2, 3 again. Remember I said I go by threes, because if I have to get to 4, somebody got on my nerves. You ought to get it in 3. 1, email, write, and fax all government levels your ideas, suggestions, and concerns. They're voted in by somebody. That's their job. You think they got all the ideas? We're creative humans, smart, a lot of us, most, talented. Share. You'd be surprised. They may not give you credit for it or announce you on the 6 o'clock news, but if you see that your idea or some aspect of it is being used by governance or whatever, they might pass it on to a business, whatever, and it's helpful, look at you. But it can't happen if you keep it to yourself. Number 2, commit to learning more about government and laws. How you gonna talk about the government and stuff? You don't even know what this position is from that one. And then when it comes to voting, you look at that voting ticket and be like, I'm a Republican, so I'm just gonna vote straight party ticket. I'm a Democrat. You might, it might be a Democrat or a Republican thrown up in there as a kin. I'm not necessarily a kinfolk. I mean, a kin kind of like similar to or like Attila the Hun or somebody. Look these people up and learn about their histories and backgrounds. Public information, look it up. And you know what? I'm talking to myself too, because I know for many years I did straight party ticket and I didn't know who half of these people were. So I'm not fixing to tell you how to do something that I'm not willing to do or something that I was remiss on. Didn't I say I wasn't perfect? I'm either saying things to do or reminding us to do stuff that we already know. Number 3, report problems, major or your rights, violation of your rights. Report them. That's the problem. Not enough people report stuff and do it in writing. Be calling folks and stuff. Ooh, let me tell you, they don't have time. They're not going to talk to you like that. You're not going to get to talk to them anyway. You're going to talk to their staff and all of that, the people that work there. Right. Go to their online portals. You can do that all the way to the White House. And make sure you're being respectful and follow the rules and all of that. I mean, why would you write, email, or fax government something, just as crazy? I mean, that they gonna have your address and your computer and all that. Don't even make no sense. But write them more often in their online portals, not every day or 5 minutes. I don't want to hear from you. Like, it's too many of us people here. But report problems that you're having to the appropriate agencies. Look up who handles what, and this happened and that and whatever. And oh my gosh, I need to report, because I've actually spoken with, heard from, and dealt with some state and federal agencies that literally some of their leadership and other members of their agency, they literally said that they rarely get complaints. Look at that. See, look at y'all run around complaining to yourself, to your friends, to each other, to spouses, to, whoever will listen, to therapists and whatnot. But you're not using the tools that are there, online complaint portals for the various agencies that govern things, that govern us, that govern selling cars, insurance, housing, mortgage, whatever, you name it. If you have a legitimate complaint, not the petty stuff, don't do that. Don't tie up the government's time with stuff. Well, please report it, your concerns, and again, great suggestions. And not necessarily in book form, because most of the portals have like a number count where they're only going to let you say so much anyway. So have your draft written down or have your words ready, because it'll cut you off anyway. I have spent hours sometimes going back through trying to subtract 2,000 words from 5,000. In other words, hold all government officials and others accountable. Talk is cheap. Power of the pen, meaning what I already said. And these days, a pen or pencil or whatever is a computer, or other electronic devices and mechanisms of communicating. Just communicate professionally and respectfully and properly and whatever it is about the story. Okay, so with more ideas, training, investments, reporting, accountability, common themes, and acceptance, the transformative, this is another quote that I made up, because I see my quotes here. Quote from me, this channel: the transformative and peaceful revolutionized change from past and present negatives. And we know negatives and a lack of unity can happen and is possible, period, end quote. Let me read it again, because I'm always interrupting myself. Quote: the transformative and peaceful revolutionized change from past and present negatives and a lack of unity can happen and is possible. And for anybody out there, it's like, girl, please, with all that. Okay, well, I don't know if you're a Christian, but I said it in one of the other videos. I shall say it again. And I need to write the scripture down so I can quote it straight from the scripture, but I'm just going to say it as I'm accustomed to say it. Let me look at the camera. All things are possible through Christ, which strengthens us. You Christians know that one. So whoever's doing the girl, please, if you're a Christian, you wrong. And if you're not a Christian, are you really thinking positive, or you done gave up? You don't have no hope. You don't forget this journey. Y'all know the word I was about to say. You don't want to heal. You don't even whatever. Forget if you're black, forget white people. If you're white, forget black people. I don't even care. Well, I can't stop you, but I'm doing the best I can to try to help. That's all I can do. Lord help us all. All right. Okay. Now that all of that has been said, I have a suggestion, as if I hadn't already given enough. Give instructions and positive ideas and things, colors, marching, or even dance moves to organize protesters. Kind of like that mob dance stuff, but not exactly, because that's kind of fun stuff. And protesting is not about nothing fun. But you know how bands, not that it has to be like, yay, police brutality. Well, that's crazy. I'm talking about, some real look good, serious order, boom stuff. Same colors, some. Not saying that anything is wrong with just being yourself and going out there with a cardboard post like people have done and do what you do. It's just a suggestion. Plan to keep it. Now, this is regarding protesting. I'm sorry, I'm getting into that. That's the end of this box. That's the end of video 7, by the way. Plan to keep at least a 30 to 100-foot distance from the police line, because they're going to be there. Where there's protesters, there will be police. So do what you do. But if I was planning a protest, I would plan to be a specific distance away from them. Extra money spent, and this is why. Extra money spent on a couple of reasons. Extra money spent on police overtime, damage to property, lawsuit settlements, folks' property, somebody got killed, injured, whatever. Business losses, looting, whatever, and other related costs is what? Less money and growth for who? For the people protesting and those that aren't. Whoever. Be protesting from home, protesting with y'all, like, yeah, for real. But it costs. Protesting doesn't cost, but depending on how the protest goes or doesn't go, or how to separate oneself from the buck wilds and the bad actors and the planted folks and whatever, and some additional real and conspiracy theory issues that, get involved when people are protesting serious matters. Make a way to better protect and separate yourself from those. So those other people will be more obvious than the protesters. See that? Okay. Keeping a set, I probably already explained it. I done wrote it. I do that. Keeping a set distance from law enforcement. This is just a suggestion. I'm not saying, what's up, yeah. Creating your own. Oh, is that my clock? I'm going to hit snooze because I'm not going to make a 7C and it's 23 minutes. Let me just hurry up because it's just a paragraph and a half. Clock going off on me. Okay. Keeping a set distance from law enforcement. This is just suggestions. Don't be thinking I'm trying to tell everybody what to do. Creating your own reasonable curfews. Think about it. We got stuff to do. Places to be, people to see. The goal, the limit we can during pandemic. Consider giving your own, whatever group you organize, consider making your own curfew. That way nobody won't have to try to give you one. The police or the government or whatever, our curfew is at whatever so and so today. So y'all don't have to worry about it. We good. And limiting cursing and yelling. And I'm not going to try to pretend like I never cursed before. Or yelled. But if you limit that, even in frustration and anger, because this stuff is frustration and anger and killing and carrying on, racism and slavery and everything, really? But limiting cursing and yelling allows the message to be seen and heard better. It's more safety for everyone, or most everyone, more than some of what I've seen, and less opportunity, I said it earlier, for opportunists like looters, rioters, and bad actors. Because if there is no separation of peaceful protesters in, I don't know, like I say, similar colored t-shirts, tell everybody to wear, black, gray, and white, or brown, like a neutral color. You think everybody got blue? Okay, this is what we're gonna wear on this day. Whatever. If there is no way to separate yourself, then the line gets real close, out in the face in some cases, with either the guard or the police or whatever. Then when the police do what they do, what they're told to do, what they're either trained or taught or told to do, or just or think to do, then what? It's a mash mess. You got the protester, the looter, the rioters. Then it gets called a riot because you see damage and fire and throwing and hitting and bullets and smoke and shooting, and it's a fair riot. But not if the peaceful protesters are very obvious and somehow separated, or very orderly. Not saying it hasn't been, or I haven't seen any orderly or organized ones. Don't think that either. All you great organizers of some of those great protests I saw, please do not take offense to that, because I saw some really organized and really peaceful and really great and really, I was really proud. But those are just added suggestions for some people. For some of the ones that weren't so, or again, they didn't really have themselves as separated. Then here come the opportunists, jump in there and start cutting a rug. And then next thing you know, it's on 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, all these news loop-de-loop as a blasted riot. Now, if those suggestions and ideas didn't help anyone that's out there, that you one person maybe, I'm talking to myself again online, look at resolution of many problems faced today due to racism and other societal issues. Then, we sure need Jesus. Exclamation mark. Let me read that again. And hee ha if you want to on this. I'm not fixing to use the Lord's name in vain. I mean this. Now, if though the suggestions is all of video 7 and 7B. Shut up, clock. I'm not gonna tell my names. I snooze. The suggestions is the entire video number 7 and 7B, because I went over and it was some error message. All of this is their suggestions where I'm trying to be helpful. I'm not trying to be harmful. And if I've harmed, or if not, surely I haven't harmed nobody, really. Gotta go somewhere with that. But if somebody just really doesn't like, my thing, what I'm trying to do, I'm sorry. Not sorry. Because, as I've said, I'm going to read this again at the end of video 7 and 7B. Now, if all of the suggestions that I've made in video 7 and 7B and ideas didn't help anyone, didn't make any sense, y'all like, what? If it didn't, well, just look at the resolutions that you see for all of the problems that we're faced with today. Just look around at all these resolutions. Tell me when you see them. whether due to racism or other societal issues, just y'all know what these issues are. Y'all either having them or suffering from them, watching the news and stuff, just like me. Issues, bad ones. So if nothing I said made an ounce of sense to anyone, we need Jesus. Exclamation mark. Translation, that's non-dialect. We surely need Jesus to help us with and through this. Exclamation mark. Okay. End of video 7. And thank you for your patience and time with all of that, which came from me. Now, we'll get more into the researched and studied factual slavery history and all that good stuff for this healing journey that I'm trying to take myself on, and anybody that's going with me in video 8. 31 minutes. Okay. Well, anyway, see you then. I hit end the stream.